This sode would not be possible without the support of our listeners, patrons, and sponsors. If you'd like to learn more about supporting the 3-Bit Gamer Show, check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/3BG. And a huge thanks goes out to our boss-level patrons, Christopher and Patrick.
Hey guys, super stoked to do the podcast tonight.
Yeah, man, me too. It's just so good to have a group of friends together to just hang out, talking about video games.
Yeah, I'm having a great time, you guys.
Yeah, me too. So I think we should start with some news.
Wait. Who was that?
Who is who?
I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah, let's get back to the sode.
Who was that? Right there.
Oh, Mark? He's our podcast FBI guy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he listens to all our episodes, ever since we started getting all political.
So political.
I don't think we're that political.
You guys are pretty political. Not now, Mark! You just logged into the 3-Bit Gamer Show. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
This is Jenna.
And this is Mark.
Okay, well, it's time to get really political in this next episode, you guys. You're going to love it.
It is?
Yeah, it's... Oh. No, that's the next episode. Sorry, guys. Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news. All right, our news this week is brought to us by Crave Cookies, who I'm just realizing I feel like a jerk and a bad friend. I don't know if Trent's oven's working again, but considering he dropped off a bunch of cookies the other day, it must be, right?
There is an oven somewhere making Crave cookies. I can confirm that.
Somewhere out there is an oven just spinning them out. Guys, if you haven't been to Crave Cookies, or I don't know, if you haven't been paying attention to the last 2 years of the podcast, Crave Cookies, this awesome cookie, pretzel, and soda shop here in Midvale, Utah. Dude, he's still doing the edible cookie dough too, on top of everything else.
Smart, dude. Here's the thing: if I went, I'd probably end up buying some cookie dough and some cookies.
Oh my god, he's got the Bedrock back, vanilla dough stuffed with milk chocolate chips and Cocoa Pebbles. And then they roll it in Cocoa Pebbles, and then they top it with sweet cream cheese frosting. Oh, my God. Guys, cravecookies.com. Get it in your face. Crave! All right, so news. We have some awesome news this week.
Good ones, yeah.
It feels like the news is healing itself.
Coming back. We're coming back.
We're coming back. Like, post holidays, post-election, like... It's time to heal, guys.
Post-holidays, post-console launch, and post-Cyberpunk, all of a sudden, things are normalizing.
Oh, Cyberpunk was such a news black hole.
It just ate everything up. Sucked the rest of the news in.
It was fun, but, I'm ready to move on. So, this first bit of news this is kind of just dinky but funny. A Mortal Kombat player, professional esports player, was disqualified for the tournament from a Mortal Kombat esports tournament for criticizing the developers.
Wow.
I think this
criticizes the devs, and they're just like, you can't play our game anymore.
Yeah, so he
Bad
had
marketing.
Real Russian of them.
He had a move set. This wasn't even his name. He had a move set that displayed a custom name to his opponent. So if he did a certain amount of moves or a certain move set, it would display, why did NRS do this? NRS referring to the developer NetherRealm Studios. And I guess he's using, if you guys are familiar with Shiva, she's the woman in Mortal Kombat with 4 arms and the teeth.
Let's see. It looks like 4 arms, a shaved head with a mohawk, some horns.
Yeah, maybe woman's not appropriate, not an accurate descriptor.
I mean, she's definitely wearing female armor, meaning that it's kind of useless.
Right. And it's not protecting any of her 4 arms. They are all
Her legs
full
all
display.
the way, full thigh. You got
all
the
the way
thigh.
to her thigh.
His legs are not important to protect at any point.
She's
In
got
the
extra
picture, she
arms.
is fighting
I get
RoboCop, who only has like
His
half
face.
of his face showing.
The mouth part of his face, I believe.
Yes, he's all armor. She is no armor. Makes sense. This seems like it'd work.
I don't know. Okay, so
sorry.
I guess I haven't seen RoboCop since I was a kid, but like, is the idea he like exploded and literally the only part left of him was his mouth?
They were
and
like,
the
"How
doctor,
can we keep that jaw?"
Yeah, are you fucking serious? So like, the wife is sitting there like sobbing as the cop police chief comes to tell her that her, I guess, human husband exploded, and he's like, "It's okay, ma'am," and he holds out his hand and he's like, "We got his mouth," and she's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" Ah! And he's like, "No, it's fine. We're gonna slap this on the mouth part of a robot. It's gonna be great."
It'll still be him, but just
Well, the
from the
mouth part
bottom
of
of the
him.
nose to the top of the chin. That's it.
So I guess
Anyway.
Shiva has this terrible, this super like outbalanced stomp attack that's super unfair. He was protesting it. This is an in-game protest, and they banned him. Guys, if you're trying to make, I know they're trying to make Mortal Kombat a bigger esport. This is not a good start. If you guys can't handle this tiny bit of criticism from one of your players, I don't know, just look at League of Legends community and
Oh man.
ask yourself if you think you can hack it in the world of esports.
Can you imagine though if like anything competitive did this? Like, what if this happened in like the NFL? What if someone criticized the NFL something?
Yeah,
Because I feel like they do all the time, and then they were just like, you know what? You can't play anymore.
well, I mean, it
go
kinda
find a
happened to
different
Kaepernick.
league. Well, I mean, he wasn't necessarily. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot involved
they
there.
didn't directly tell him, but they're basically, yeah, you're never going to play in this league again, bitch. What the fuck?
Dude, if you keep up this line of thought, Mark is going to chime in. So you got to be
Hey, you
careful.
guys, look, about being political again.
Hey, take it back a couple notches. Sorry,
Okay.
Mark. My bad.
So, this next bit, this is actually an awesome story. Gabe Newell says that Valve has more games in development that are waiting to be announced. This follows the huge success of Half-Life Alyx, which is insane that it was a huge success considering you need a $3,000 machine and a considerable amount of luck to be even able to play this game. The fact that it was so successful is pretty notable. But for me, the big
who had VR wanted it. Like if you had VR, you wanted it.
You had to have it.
If you wanted more Half-Life, you had to get it. So sold a lot.
The thing is about Valve, and if you guys know anything about, I think we talked a little bit about this a couple months ago, but Valve's development in terms of their game, because you know they run Steam and that's kind of just their cash cow, but so they don't really need to develop games. Period. They don't, and they could pay all their game developers in perpetuity forever just based on Steam. And that kind of seems to be what they're doing because they have the ability working there to just work on whatever project they want. It's like this radical democratic approach to running a company where it's like, if you can scrape together enough people to work on a project or a game together and get it going, and I guess through the sheer strength of will, keep the production going, then you can produce a game at Valve. But more often than not, they just kind of run out of gas and everything just flounders. The other problem,
To get busy with their real job, right? Like
Just
their
keeping Steam
actual
running.
job. They have a job. This is like side project type of stuff.
no, some of these, like, this is their job. Like being game devs is like their job, but they've worked at Valve for 10 years maybe and haven't worked on a shipped game the entire time. And the other problem is with Half-Life being the game that it is and Portal being the game that it was, there's a lot of like, these people are just frozen because they're so scared and intimidated by the fact that they have to release a sequel to these games. But the fact that they released Alyx and it was so well received has like freed up some of that logjam where they're like, oh my God, people just want us to make games. And everyone in the gaming community is like, yes, that's what we've been saying.
Why
for
didn't
15
you say
years.
anything?
Like, guys, you just wanted us to like make games that aren't Dota 2? What the heck? Why didn't you say something? You should have spoke up.
But they're doing it. I guess they're jumping in to make some games. Yeah, because Alex came out, it was successful, and then they were like, guys, that was fun. We like this. And so now they're making more games.
Dude, they are one of the game studios. It would be like Netflix not making original content. It's so crazy. They own the biggest gaming marketplace in the world, and they don't make any games. It's just such a missed opportunity. They don't even like really produce or publish games. Like they could be at least doing that. To me, the biggest news of this wasn't that Valve, a studio that's been frozen in time for 15 years, is actually going to start doing things again. It was that I kept seeing .co.nz on all of these websites, and I'm like, what is going on? Why are all of these breaking news in the gaming industry being reported on like kind of smaller tech sites in New Zealand? Well, guys, I didn't know this. I didn't know if you guys knew this. Gabe Newell has been stuck in New Zealand since March. The dude went out there for a 10-day vacation right after Alex shipped, and then they locked down the country, and he's just been fucking stuck there.
He's just in New Zealand?
Yes! How did we not know this? He's just been, and he loves it. The pictures from the interview, motherfucker, no shoes. Just sweatpants, no shoes.
He has no shoes on.
This dude is like, oh yeah, no, I'm good to stay here. Oh man, oh no, I got stuck in New Zealand. And everyone in New Zealand's like, this is great. We love this guy. This guy's great. He makes video games? So cool. What?
Oh my gosh.
What?
This is so
They
weird.
inspired him to make more games.
Yes! New Zealand did everything right in 2020. They even got Gabe Newell to start making more games. What the what?
Wait, do we need to send more things to New Zealand?
More, yeah.
Very selective. We can't send all of it.
Pitchford,
we don't
you
want to
stay the
ruin
fuck
it.
away from New Zealand.
Randy Pitchford goes over to New Zealand.
All of a sudden,
immediately, just things start falling apart. Couple
everyone has
volcanoes.
coronavirus. What?
Yeah, I brought coronavirus.
I opened up a chain of medieval
it's on-
times.
It's on this USB. Isn't that how it works? Like, what, Randy? Please leave. Can't leave.
Can't leave. I'm
getting
stuck here
arrested.
now. Oh, yeah. Imagine if Randy Pitchford had been stuck in New Zealand for the last 10 months. No, I'm really stoked. I think Valve is going to be the studio to watch. Are they publicly traded? Guys, sell all your GameStop stock. Buy Valve stock.
I don't think they are publicly traded.
Probably not. Oh, yeah. That's why they don't suck. Anyway, yeah, because I think Gabe Newell owns like all of it, like himself. So here's another story that I kind of understand. I think Peterson and I worked it out using our big brains. Okay, well, we'll try our best. So apparently there is a thing called Xbox Live,
Yes.
which I remember having on the Xbox 360 in order to play Halo 3 and Gears of War. And any game online, you had to pay a service, which was, I think it was anywhere from $5 to $10 a month, which gave you access to what was already built into your Xbox. It was an asinine money grab from Xbox, but whatever. You just had to do it. You were forced to do it.
And here's the thing. Here's what makes it more annoying. It's not like a requirement because Fortnite skips that. You don't need Live or
Fortnite skips
PlayStation
everything.
Plus to play Fortnite online. Other games you do, but Fortnite, no.
Yeah. I love that Fortnite just picks and chooses the rules it wants to follow. So that whole thing with the Apple App Store when they're like, we're not going to use this anymore. And Apple's like, well, you have to. They're like,
Not going to do it.
No. So
I don't know how they do that, but they do.
So there's Xbox Live,
Uh-huh.
and then there is Xbox Game Pass, which is $10 a month, I believe. And now there is Xbox Ultimate, which
Game Pass Ultimate.
Game Pass Ultimate, which allows you to play games online, which I guess is mind blowing to me that Game Pass was a separate service. I guess that makes sense. So there was Game Pass and then Live. And so if you wanted to have both at the same time, you were basically paying $15 a month to play on your Xbox, which Man, that's steep.
That's a new development. The Game Pass Ultimate didn't always have Xbox Live Gold or whatever.
This is so stupid.
This
This
is
is
new
so
development.
Xbox, dude. This is
Yeah.
brought to you by the company that came up with Xbox Series X and Xbox One X 2 years apart. Not the same thing. So I guess they came out and they're like, well, guys, we're going to double the price of Xbox Live just to force you to get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. We're not even going to pretend that that's not why we're doing it. So essentially you could be paying if you want to just have the Xbox Live multiplayer service, you're going to be paying more than you would be paying for Ultimate, correct?
For Ultimate, yes. Yes, so they were going to double from like $60 a year to $120 a year to do Xbox Live. So you could be easily duped into this if you're not paying attention. You could have Game Pass for $10 a month, and then you could also, they'll be like, oh, you got to re-up your Xbox Live account, and so you just do that. So you could inadvertently be double dipping, and of course, as you mentioned, it's a scam to begin with. That you have to pay at all to play games online. That's
Xbox
not
Game Pass, not a scam. Incredible deal. Xbox Live, huge fucking scam. Not a good deal.
No.
Yeah, the game provides that ability. They are not providing a service, so why would you need to pay them for that?
Exactly.
Well, and here's the thing, Jenna. It's already online.
Yes.
You're already connected via their machine to the internet.
Yep.
It's not Xbox's servers. It's not Microsoft servers. You're still playing on Modern Warfare servers. You're still playing on Halo servers. You're still playing on Gears of War servers. You are not playing on Xbox Microsoft servers.
Yes.
It is such a fucking scam.
It's a scam.
It's so crazy. So they immediately got insane pushback on this one, obviously. And they just, I think it was like in a day, they reversed course and were like, oh, just kidding. Here's everything. Just kidding. We're not trying to be assholes.
One day, they just totally reversed it.
Look, man, the amount of goodwill that they purchased themselves with Game Pass, to risk that on anything just to get a couple more people signed up for it, not worth it.
I do like that they recognized and did not like double down and triple down on their decision and call gamers idiots. They recognized the backlash and they were like, oops, sorry, not doing that. Don't need it. We're gonna roll that back. And
calling gamers idiots, always an appealing option.
It's appealing.
I get it, guys.
You want to do it.
It's easy.
You shouldn't. Don't do it.
Easy.
Not a good idea.
Idiots.
Idiots.
You idiots.
Bunch of idiots.
Stupid idiots. So that brings us to some good drama. We got another Schreier post over on Bloomberg. This time it's after Blizzard. Guys, if you haven't realized by now, Blizzard Games is no more. What we know as Blizzard Games is the stripped, skinned, flayed skin of Blizzard Games, stretched, tanned, and worn by the hideous monster that's known as Activision. It really is nothing but Blizzard in name only. And that can be evidenced by the most recent report that Vicarious Visions, this is a subsidiary of Activision that was doing things like Skylanders, Tony Hawk, Crash Bandicoot, just like Activision's kind of like standard, just game pumped out their normal games. They're being handed a number of Blizzard franchises, including Diablo. So Activision took the studio that has no Blizzard experience whatsoever, and they're just like, hey, you know, Diablo, one of our like 3 pillar franchises for the entire studio that's been worked on in-house, internally, by the same team for the last 15, 20 years. Yeah, we're just going to give this to the fuckers from Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, the
Skylanders
guys.
The Skylanders guys.
These aren't bad games, but they're not.
They're not Diablo.
Great games. They're not games anyone really cares about, I guess. And so it seems weird for them to farm it out. It feels like they're cheating on you or something.
Yeah. And cheating on you with like a far uglier partner, and you're like, oh, the fuck are you thinking?
You went there?
That guy?
Wow. What did I do wrong?
So on October 15th of 2020, I guess Blizzard informed members of Team One. Now, Team One, this was like the team at Blizzard. Like, they walked around the studio like gods.
I'm pretty sure people carried them around in palanquins.
Oh, nice word.
They were
reference.
like, oh, I need to go. I need to go to the bathroom, and then some interns or something would come and lift up.
Hey, a Team One guy needs to go to the bathroom. Get on all fours. You're giving him a ride. And so it wasn't just like, oh, okay. So Team One were the guys that they handed Warcraft 3 Reforged after they I feel like they were the guys that were doing amazing things, and they were the guys that did HOTS. Like, they brought us that amazing game that was HOTS. Mm-hmm. And because it wasn't like this massive financial success, and it wasn't a League of Legends killer, they just were cut it off at the knees. And then the next thing they threw these guys was Warcraft 3 Reforged. And they were like, basically, you have 2 fewer years to complete this than you should. And you're going to find that out on Twitter because our PR team's going to announce it. Yeah. And so they screwed Team One over for years and years. And then they're like, you guys suck. And they just dissolved them. They're like, you can go interview for fucking jobs in Blizzard for your own job.
They told what is supposed to be the primo team, your team is disbanded. If you want to work here still, you can apply to something else. People who didn't get jobs,
fired.
They're just gone. You're gone.
Fired.
Dude, what?
It's just mind-blowing. Like, I get it. The guys are so talented. They probably have people just sniffing after them no matter where they go. But the amount of disrespect and the lack of care for a team that had such a pedigree that literally you go to BlizzCon circa 2008 and you say to anybody there, you're like, hey, I work at Blizzard, I'm on Team One. They are on their knees. They're like, oh, you work on Team One? What are you guys working on? What's your project?
People would pass out.
Yeah, they hyperventilate. But here we are in 2020, and they are just treated as just one more disposable filth team that Activision's MBAs can cut off, because financially, he's like, what is this? What's this Team One guy? They're eating a lot of budget. Can we just fucking fire all of them? Wouldn't that be good for this quarter? Let's just do it.
It's very sad. And it seems bizarre, but yeah, I think really the takeaway here is Blizzard does not exist anymore. Blizzard is gone. It's Activision. I'm fully expecting all Blizzard properties to just kind of fade into nothing, fade into the annals of history, right? And remember when Blizzard was awesome? I think guys, writing is on the wall. Unless they release something like this year that is mind-blowing, this is just Blizzard's a mediocre studio at this point.
It's beyond a mediocre studio, because a mediocre studio would just make mediocre games and have a mediocre pedigree. But this is such a fall from grace.
That's true.
I can think of very few companies that were so revered. I mean, maybe Blockbuster, because at its zenith, Blockbuster was a recognizable brand. Everyone loved it. It was part of the cultural zeitgeist, going and hanging out with your buds at Blockbuster. It was a thing. And yeah, now everyone just laughs about it. What a joke. What a bunch of dummies. So that's going to be Blizzard. You guys are going to be Blockbuster. Blizzard Buster.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, I made myself sad.
You did this, JD.
I did this. Okay, so let's Peterson, it never ends. You'd think this would end.
It doesn't. It just keeps bringing goodness.
It's stopwatch now into 2021. GameStop news never stops coming. At this time, it is a little bit beyond me. Peterson,
This is I can barely explain it. So the GameStop stock has risen. Oh gosh, did you see the number? I can't remember it. But the GameStop stock, which was, let's see, 3 months ago, down in the like teens.
oh, it was so low. Like it had bottomed out. It was like $8, wasn't it?
3 months ago, in October, November timeframe, it was $11. Got down to $10 a share. So that's what their stock price was. Today, GameStop's stock price is $88.87. Earlier this week, it got up to almost 140. So GameStop stock in the last, like last week, like 1 week, in the last week has exploded. And you'd sit there and think, okay, any reasonable person would say, what the heck? What happened to GameStop? Did they acquire somebody? Did they announce something? What happened? That's usually what drives some new technology. That's usually what drives an increase in stock price. None of the above. It is, and I barely understand this, so I apologize.
Well, wasn't it just like the GameStop like made some sort of management change? It was like a tiny minor thing.
No,
There's nothing.
This is okay. So there's a thing in stock trading, I won't get into it, called shorting, where you borrow shares and then you sell them. You do that when you expect the share price to go down. So then you borrow them, you sell them back, and then you buy them at a lower price or something like that and take the profit. So that's what huge companies were doing. Like these huge companies that just that's what they do. These hedge funds, they were shorting this stock because the writing's on the wall, right? GameStop is done. They are going downhill, and people have been shorting them for years.
Shorting is in the most basic terms betting that it will go down, and it was a very safe bet. If you listen to this podcast, for that GameStop was going to continue going down.
Yep. There's a thing that happens, a phenomenon called a short squeeze, which essentially you can manipulate the market or something happens, but most of the time it's the market being manipulated, which is what's happening in this case, where the stock price shoots up. And people who have a lot of money shorting that stock lose a lot of money really fast.
Well, they lose it if they don't sell it. And so they start selling it, which makes the price spike more.
It makes it seem more valuable. And so now you've created this artificial value, which people start to see it spiking, and then people really do start buying. And then all of a sudden, this
all the people that are shorting are
is actually
out.
Value.
Yes. Yes. But it's not actually value. It's all just like pumped up by a bunch of trolls on Reddit.
Yes, so this is the best part about this story. A group called a Reddit group called, what's it called?
Wall Street Bets. It's a subreddit.
Wall Street Bets subreddit is doing this on purpose. They're doing this. This is planned. They wanted to do this, and part of their motivation was just to screw with the hedge funds who are putting in millions of dollars. And a lot of those hedge funds are pissed because they lost millions.
Yeah.
But
they're doing this again today. They did this again today with BlackBerry and AMC theaters.
Just like companies they know are going down.
Well, AMC theaters did have that announcement. They usually have a catalyst of like one positive bit of news that would send the stock price ostensibly up just a little bit, like a couple percentage points. But if one person or a handful of people dump enough money into that at that moment when it's already going up, then that's when the squeeze can start. Because if you expect it to go up like 2%, all the people that are shorting are like, okay, we'll just hang out. Like it's just 2%. But if it goes up 5%, that triggers a lot of people that are like, oh, well, if it goes up above 3.5% auto sale. And so that person auto sells, and then that triggers the next auto sell. And then it just, this isn't even people literally reacting. It's just fucking computers.
Yes.
And Reddit's just doing this to manipulate and fuck with it because it's funny. And it makes them a lot of money in the meantime.
So much money. People have been posting like their accounts online, and I've seen people in the millions that have made millions. A lot of people are making like hundreds of thousands of dollars. AMC stock up 75% this week. For nothing, just cause there's no announcement, there's nothing big. So yeah, this story is hilarious to me. So GameStop stock, probably I would bet the executives at GameStop are thrilled and probably selling any shares they had left over.
Yeah, because even after it started dropping a ton, and even after it like bottomed out, it's still, if I'm not mistaken, it's still higher than it was before all this nonsense started.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, before this started, it was in the like tens, and now it's at $88, JD.
Oh my god. Yeah. So GameStop is hot. Little shot in the arm. This is like when you get a adrenaline rush after your legs have been totally crushed in a car accident. You feel great, but you're still fucking dying. So best
jump
of luck
off
to
the
you.
train. All I'm going to say is jump off the train before it's too late. I'm not saying go put your life savings in GameStop and BlackBerry and AMC, because this will die.
I'm not saying don't not do that though.
I'm not
Go
I'm not
troll on
advising
Reddit.
anybody. Please don't.
Okay, Peterson, this is the last one. This is you news. It was built custom made for you.
I was so excited. Listen, it's just, this is a rumor, okay? But it's a
We'll
rumor.
take that. We'll take
that's
Alex
good enough
Jones
for
talking
me.
about it. Like, we will take that.
Knights of the Old Republic. So there's rumors out there that a new Knights of the Old Republic game is in development, and little bonus, a little double dip into the good news section. It is being developed outside of its original creators, EA and BioWare. Which,
Oh yeah, because you can't trust those assholes with.
I don't trust them
anymore.
I don't trust them anymore. So that's kind of exciting. That's
Don't you trust
exciting to me.
BioWare magic now that you know it's actually going on behind the curtain, Peterson? The BioWare magic is just like working poor people to death and doing a shitty job of managing their time.
And all of their last two projects have been real bad. Nope, don't trust them. Don't want them in it. I don't want EA to be involved with it. So this is exciting.
Yeah.
Again, also because the Star Wars license is out there. So I say it's a rumor. It does come from like a fairly reputable source, which it's a thing called Bespin Bulletin, but they're like a Star Wars insider, and they're a credible source of rumor.
Yeah.
So yeah, even look,
Rumors
this is
can
all the
always be
announcement I need.
credible.
That's true. Dude, I've started several credible rumors myself.
I all of my rumors are frankly very credible.
But guys, this makes me so happy. And again, marketing strategy, this is all I need. Just Don't even
drip.
give me anything else until the game is announced, and I will lose it.
Dude, I just can't get over the fact that BioWare lost their own goddamn franchise. You go into the studios in BioWare, and I guarantee you there are wraps all over the walls. There's figurines and stand-up statues, all from KOTOR. And like, you go and interview for a job there, and they're like, "Yeah, we're the guys that made KOTOR." And you're like, "Are you still making it?" "Oh, you guys made that new game?" And they're like, "Oh no, that's someone else. We don't make it anymore. We lost
Blizzard's
it 'cause we
the same
suck so
thing.
bad."
Blizzard's the same thing.
Just such a shame, you guys. Just embarrassing yourselves.
This is
Okay.
exciting. This
Yeah,
is
this is
exciting
dope.
news.
All right, let's move on.
Kudos.
Okay, kudos is our positivity segment. I'd like to give a shout out to something we're way into because we always need a little more positivity in our lives. Peterson, you want to go first? Do you have a kudos?
Yes, I do, and I've been sitting on this one since before the Blursties, and I'm so excited because I finally got to watch Jojo Rabbit. I know Jojo Rabbit came out in 2019, but I didn't go to see it. It wasn't a movie I ever thought I'd see in the theaters or anything, and then pandemic stuff happened, and then we just got distracted, and then Jojo Rabbit came out, and it was on, I don't know if it was on Prime Video or HBO, one of those. HBO, I believe. And oh man, have you guys seen it yet?
No,
Okay.
it's on our list to watch.
So,
but I've heard
listen,
only good things.
The premise is off-putting, but I will tell you it is so well done. So Jojo he's a German kid he lives in Nazi Germany. And he is a self-proclaimed Nazi. That's all he wants to be. He wears a uniform. He goes to Nazi camp. And he has an imaginary friend, which is Adolf Hitler. But you have to understand, this is very much a comedy. It's like a serious kind of comedy, but it's very funny. This is Adolf Hitler as a Nazi-obsessed little kid would see him. So he's ridiculous, right? He's absolutely ridiculous. And there's a lot of serious themes that happen, but a lot of really hilarious things that happen as well. This movie is a must-see. I was obsessed with it from start to finish. So good. So funny. It has a like a feel good message at the end type of thing. It's by Taika Waititi. Did I say his name?
I don't know.
Taika Waititi,
The
who
Thor
is
Ragnarok.
Yep. So I mean, he's Thor.
And
Thor
he's from
Ragnarok,
New Zealand, right?
Which is ridiculous. Yes,
He's
he
from
is.
New Zealand. Oh man, they're having
Only
a
good things
time.
coming out of
Only
New Zealand.
Good things. Ever since Lord of the Rings, it's just been a constant upswing. Good luck on getting included on more maps, though. You guys, one thing you can notice every time you see like a world map in the media, just like on some random like New York Times or whatever, look for New Zealand. It's a little island by Australia, but it's never fucking there. They are, whatever. Who cares? Oh, mini Australia? Yeah, that's kind of optional. We put that there sometimes, whatever.
Baby Australia?
Baby
whatever.
Baby Australia?
Listen.
Now it sounds so cute. I don't know if that's like insulting.
Listen, we don't believe that. We love New Zealand. We are on the New Zealand charts.
Big time.
So listen, we are big fans of New Zealand. But listen, Jojo Rabbit, seriously, watch it. I know it sounds off-putting. I do know a couple people who are like, I didn't like it. It felt irreverent for like the topic. But you have to understand, it's just very funny. Watch it. I loved it. I want to watch it again. This is such a good movie. You guys need to watch it like this week. So watch Jojo Rabbit. It's on HBO.
Tight. Speaking of HBO, oh my god, you guys, I could barely contain myself. The Godzilla vs. King Kong trailer is out now, and the movie is out in 2 months. It's going to be on HBO at the same time it's in theaters. I don't know what fucking theaters it's going to be in. I guess the ones you go to if you want to potentially die from a deadly virus, because
this is where AMC got the big stock pump.
Oh,
it's going to be at all AMC theaters.
You guys, that trailer was the sickest thing. All I've ever wanted is to watch King Kong wail on Godzilla on top of
JD loves giant monsters.
That's all I want. I want a kite. Here's the thing. I would 100% trade. If you came to me and after I watched Godzilla, when did Godzilla come out? That one came out like 2010, 2012, the original one. I don't know. And you're like, dude, you can either have a million Godzilla movies and kaiju movies, or you can have the huge like comic book renaissance we've been going through. Man, I would be hard pressed. I'd be like, I don't know. I might have to lean toward kaiju shit.
Dude, this is crazy to me.
Kaiju shit is the dopest.
Can I admit something? I don't know if I've ever really seen a kaiju movie.
What? You didn't see like Pacific Rim or?
Nope.
And you guys are
you
friends?
haven't seen any Godzilla movies?
I know.
This is really weird.
I have no desire.
TBD.
That's Mark's your new best friend now.
Yeah. I'm always here for you, JD. So, what the? That's weird. That's really weird. I'm kind of just like grappling with that news.
Did I mess up
right
your
now.
flow? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I can get back to it. Here's the thing: is that the big monkey punches the shit out of the lizard in the mouth, and then the lizard tries to burn him with atomic hellfire, and the monkey's like, "No way!" and then hits him with like a Thor hammer.
Yeah.
You
I'm
guys,
watching
and
the
then
trailer right now.
Mechagodzilla probably shows up at some point because that's dope. So there's going to be a robot Godzilla and like the other Godzilla and the big monkey with the stick.
Dude,
Guys,
it's pretty sick looking.
we don't need speakers for the trailer because Jonathan's reactions during the whole thing were louder than it the whole time.
I was like, Jenna, why don't you sit down and watch the trailer? And she just sat on the couch and then turned to face me because she knew that's what she'd be watching.
Yeah,
That was the real.
the
fun
monkey
stuff.
throws a punch and he's
Yeah.
like, "Ah!" Like for the whole scene.
The monkey did the thing! He did the fucking thing!
He did Thor hammer. He Thor hammered it at the very end.
You
of the
thought I
trailer.
was joking, right? You thought I was exaggerating? Why? You don't need to exaggerate this movie. It's already absolutely asinine. It's so cool. Hey, listen up, listeners. I even like the Godzilla from 1997. So judge me, I guess.
I have seen that one. I have.
Well, then you have
that
seen a
one.
kaiju movie, although he's so little. Dude, I can't even tell you what the current Godzilla or the current King Kong would do to that Godzilla. Ooh, that little thing. He's so tiny.
It's like a little baby.
Neither of those guys could fit inside Madison Square Garden. Let me tell you that much. Okay, so that is the dopest thing ever. Watch that on YouTube, or just wait, because I perfectly described it, and just wait till the movie comes out and watch it then. Okay, that takes us to our episode, and we wanted to our first. You guys didn't notice Jenna's here.
Hi.
My lovely wife.
Hello.
Hi, Jenna.
What's up?
Thank you for joining
She's
us.
with us. She's back.
She's back. It's been so long. I had to get a new mic for her. But because it's been a minute, Jenna has been playing a lot of new games. And because she recently got into Tomb Raider, the last two Tomb Raider games, right?
Yeah, that's what's up.
How? Okay, let me just ask.
What
got you into what made you decide to go towards Tomb Raider?
So PlayStation had its holiday sale, and Jonathan's been playing games on the PC. So I was like desperate.
Totally dominating
Necessity. You needed somewhere to play.
Yeah, I needed a new game to play, and so they had both these games on sale, and I decided to go for it because Rise of the Tomb Raider was $6, I think.
Yeah.
And I think Shadow of the
yeah.
Tomb Raider was like $8 or something. I don't know. I can't remember what it was.
Yep.
But
So what do you? So you're liking them though? Have you finished either of them?
yes, I finished Rise of the Tomb Raider and loved it. And
Oh man.
but Shadow of the Tomb Raider so far has been blowing my mind. I can't believe I've watched Jonathan play some newer games, but I feel like it's a different experience playing it for yourself.
Because you're coming from the most complex kind of RPG like that you played up until this point has been Witcher 3.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I mean,
it was definitely older, and the save load times in between stuff was really slow, and
Yeah.
I mean it's crazy, but if you think about it, even if you were playing Fallout 4 and going back and playing Skyrim, it's noticeable. That 5-year span, it's noticeable in a lot of the game systems and everything else. So here's the thought I had, because Jenna recently found a newer AAA game, a genre that she hasn't really played. And because she is so new to games, I was thinking, what other AAA genres like this one would you recommend to a total gaming noob? Someone that like Jenna is just wow, I'm way into all games. I want to consume them all. But it's what do you want to try something new? What would you recommend? Peterson, I think you had some good ones that you mentioned.
Yeah, so I have a similar situation, but with my kids, right? So my kids play a lot of video games, but it's not very diverse, right? They play Fortnite, they play Minecraft, they play Roblox, and then any variation of those. And so there's not a lot of diversity in what they're playing.
A ton of games, just one game.
Yeah, they play a lot of stuff, and they've dabbled in a lot of stuff, but they've not hit a lot of the greats. They're playing a lot of, they'll see me play a little indie game or something on the Switch, and then they'll jump in and play it for a minute. But they haven't really, and this is my fault, I guess, but I haven't really introduced them to so many really great genres. Like, my kids have never played a major like AAA RPG.
That is wild.
And I'll get them into
so
one.
wild.
But here's the thing. The reason is a lot of the newer ones that released are maybe a little too mature still for like a 13 and 11-year-old, in
That's
my
fair.
Opinion.
What
right,
about like Zelda? They haven't played Breath of the Wild?
So they have played. So Collins played a lot of Breath of the Wild, which he really liked that game. I didn't. So there is that game. But there's so many different types of RPGs out there that they haven't dug into. They've never played turn-based games, really. They've never played anything like Fallout, which is definitely not like Breath of the Wild. And so, yeah, they just there's a lot of stuff they're missing out on. So, what would I recommend? And where I always want them to start, and this is pretty funny, because I tell my kids the same thing, and JD is experiencing this right now. JD is playing for the first time StarCraft 2.
It's so cool, you guys. It's dope.
He's never played it before, which is wild to me. But this is I think RTS is a must-play genre for people getting into games. It is it's a genre that a lot of people, especially people my age, cut their teeth on, right? We played Warcraft, we played Warcraft 2, and then StarCraft. And this was like, I love video games because these games really introduced you to PC gaming. They were revolutionary for their time. And so RTSs, which is a kind of stale genre, to be honest, at the moment, but there are some great RTS games that I don't feel like really get old. So if you haven't played an RTS, Jenna, which is real-time strategy, you have to try one, because they can be so good, so much fun, so immersive. So that's the first one I always recommend.
Is
some RTS.
craft a name requirement?
Sorry, what?
He listed off all these StarCraft, and then what was the other craft game?
Oh, StarCraft
yes.
and Warcraft, because they're the same company.
Yeah, no, it's generally a good sign. If a game has craft in the name, you're playing an RTS.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking for a noob,
that's
recommend how to find.
Well, yeah, because Jenna, you've seen me play Age of Empires. You watched me play RTS games.
I see you get lost into those games.
Yeah, those are the games that when she's like comes and pokes me a couple times, she's like, Jonathan. That's the game I'm playing when I'm like, huh? Sorry, huh? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I definitely think it's the thing is with a lot of these, it's just like finding the right one.
Yes.
Because like Jenna found
a ton of good ones.
Yeah, and you got to find one that's your flavor. Because Jenna found, Tomb Raider as this RPG, but like, who knows if that would be good? And there's definitely different flavors, like the Star Wars. So they're both, star based or whatever RTSs. But the Star Wars one I played, Battle Commander. What the hell was that one?
Not a memorable name.
Whatever it was, yeah, it was a sci-fi based RTS, and it was completely wholly different from StarCraft 2. So it's just like finding, and I like StarCraft 2 a lot more. Like I'm just enjoying the hell out of it because StarCraft 2 feels like Age of Empires, and that's super familiar to me.
This is dumb, but I would recommend StarCraft 1. And like the graphics might be a tiny bit off-putting. They're not great. They're not terrible. They're not great.
Age of Empires, man. I don't care about graphics.
But that's true. But StarCraft 1 has one of the most fun campaigns I've ever played in an RTS. It was one that I wanted to keep going. And all this crazy story stuff happens. That's where Kerrigan is born, right? As the Queen of Blades. So many big things happen. And it's done so well. There's a reason why it was one of the most popular games ever for a long time. So yeah, I would say start with StarCraft 1, and you can get it for dirt cheap, if not for free.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure at this point.
Yeah, so that's that. I think that's always the like best jumping in point. Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2, I wouldn't say are worth necessarily playing unless they get. I don't know if they've ever had a real like remake, because the AI in them was really dumb. I would just kite everything into a trap of archers, and it didn't matter the type of troop. I kited all of them, and that's how I'd win every match. So
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, StarCraft, that's the one.
Dope. One that I had that was kind of crazy. This one's a little wild, but I feel like because it hooked me, I feel like it might hook somebody else. Was survival games. This is like a genre that I hadn't really explored that much, and honestly, it was super unappealing to me. When you first described Frostpunk, Jesus, it must have been 2 years before I played it for the first time. And it sounded so dumb, and like I was so out, and you're like, oh, it's so bleak, it's so depressing, all this stuff, and you're just dying, everyone's dying, it's awful. But when I started playing it, I found, delightfully enough that my brain focused on the opposite of that, is that you got to fight against that and try to survive. And it was really, 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 really satisfying. And the first one that really gripped me was Frostpunk. And dude, I don't know many people that have been gripped by that game as much as me. Most people are like, oh, they played it and they beat it, or they're like, oh yeah, it was okay, whatever. So I feel like there might just be a flavor of survival game out there for everyone. Like this, what's the one you played, the planetary one, Peterson? Where all that you land on a planet and all that crazy shit can happen. You set up a colony.
Oh gosh, what's it called? I have to go look now.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's
Anyway,
called.
but that one was like super appealing to you, but there were definitely mixed reviews from people that were like, I don't know if that was like my flavor. So yeah, I think survival games could be kind of a fun genre that people might just find that there's just something in there that they really like. So that's mine.
RimWorld.
That's what it was.
That's so good. So here's the thing, though. Those are survival games, but they're also, I would say, primarily like simulator games too, because there's also survival games where you're like you're playing a person who's trying to survive. So that's a good point. In fact, the game that I'm going to review for Dice of Destiny is that I'm playing one person and I'm trying to survive, right? And so there's definitely different flavors of survival games, and there's a survival game out there for everyone. I truly believe it, because they're the types of games that really, if you can find your one, will really pull you in. So survival game. The other one, which is maybe a little bit along the lines of both of these ones that I've talked about, but just different enough, is Civilization. Jenna, have you ever played a Civilization game?
I don't think so.
So Civilization games they're like their own genre almost. They're turn-based strategy games, but they've got you're trying to build up your civilization, and you're conquering other civilizations, making trades. There's a million things you can do. I mean, pretty much you just end up fighting everyone, I think. That's what I end up doing every time. But I don't know, there's something about that one more turn type of thing that Civilization games do so well that I'm so pulled in every time I play one. Even if I've played it 50 times, if I start a new civilization, forget it. I'm going to sink 5 hours into it every time. So those are great games. And rarely do I play a civilization to completion. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, ugh, because you suck then, because it's so easy. But it's just, I'm okay with that. Like I have fun up to a point, and then I'm like, nah, I'm done, and then I'll start over. For me, starting is the fun part on a lot of these games. But Civilizations are a really great game that you can always find for cheap, that I would recommend any gamer, especially new gamer, should get into.
Okay, so here's one I'm convinced that not only Jenna, but Jenna and your kids will eventually grow to love, but currently I guess they both are rolling their eyes at us, Peterson. Card games.
I had that. That was next on my list.
Yeah, because apparently your kids, when you play. Oh no, I was thinking Undermine. When they roll your eyes for playing. Oh, he's playing Undermine again. But yeah, I fall into these games like Slay the Spire and Monster Train, and Jenna is so out on them. You're gonna find one though.
Dude.
Oh yeah, we'll get you a card game.
I didn't even play Gwent.
You'll love it. You
no,
didn't?
not a single game. I said no, thank you, good sir. Shall not be playing.
Just
Gwent
never
with you.
played Gwent.
We'll
find you one. There's so many of them.
Yeah,
There's
And
like all these new ones now.
I tried
like-
Hearthstone. What was that?
Yeah.
Hearthstone.
Didn't like it.
Wasn't into
No,
Hearthstone.
Ooh, we'll find you a CC. It's either a CCG or like a deck builder. That's usually what they
Yeah.
tend to be. Like a CCG is collectible card game. Like Hearthstone is that, where you're opening packs and getting new cards that you can add to your decks outside of the game, or a deck builder where in game you're building your own deck from cards you have or cards you've unlocked, like in Slay the Spire and stuff like that. So, man, we'll get you hooked on one. Those are, man, those games when you can find one that sucks you in. For me, I am so sucked in. I've put so much time into Hearthstone, Slay the Spire. I probably have 4 or 5 others that I've played, and none of them suck me in as much as Slay the Spire. But there's something about this genre, man. I just want to build that deck.
Oh, it's so fun. And I love the roguelike aspect that they've added to them, where you go down the map. Like, that's what I like about Monster Train so much. I think Monster Train's take on it is just so cool. I just love them.
We'll get you.
Okay,
We'll get you, Jenna.
That's all I have. Peterson, do you have any more?
No, the other one that I recommend people try, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but if, again, it's a game that you can get sucked into accidentally, are racing games. If you haven't ever really found a racing game, there are some out there, are plenty out there. I was sucked into, Forza Horizon, which is still, Forza Horizon 4 for me is the best car game I've ever played. But also I played a lot of Wreckfest. There's just something about the competition aspect and unlocking cars. I'm not even a car guy at all. At all. I think I've said this before, but for example, I've been to your house, right? I've seen JD's car enough to where I know what color and model of car he has. I could not tell you what color and model your car is, Jenna, even though I've probably seen it a dozen times at least. I think it's a Honda, and that's the best I can do. So I'm not a car guy, but something about when I'm in Forza Horizon 4, collecting cars, unlocking cars, driving them, and they feel different. Oh man, I don't know what it is, but it just pulls me in. And I think I think there's a like with CCGs and with real-time strategy, I think there's a racing game for
Jenna,
everyone.
have you played any racing games or car games or driving games at all?
I played the motorcycle game in VR.
Oh yeah, but you've never played a game with a car in it, right? Like an open world. Jenna's never played an open world city game, right? Like Witcher would be the closest thing.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to play
And
Watch
there's not
Dogs,
big
but that was
cities.
too much for me. Too complicated.
They do get crazy. I don't love cities sometimes in open world games, but car games, I'm telling you, if you can, I think there's a car game for everyone, even if you're not a car person. There's just enough of them out there. The mechanics are cool. Plus, I'll say this forever: car games are the best looking games that you can find on the market because, especially if there's not people involved, they don't have to put a face in there that emotes. So the cars
just long,
can look
flat surfaces,
so realistic.
Yep.
Car games are the best looking games on the market. And there's no uncanny valley, right? Because it's a vehicle in driving around on a street. And And so, yeah, there's a card game for everyone, but Forza Horizon 4 obviously is the one I recommend to everyone.
Do you have a wheel
Gotta
controller?
No. Gosh, I would love that, though. A full setup would be so much fun.
I feel like I'd be
Again,
tempted.
Not a car guy, but that would be so fun.
I feel like I haven't. I don't know. I feel like I've done you dirty, Jenna, and we have to get you in playing a car game. Like, that's crazy. You've never driven a car in a video game.
I mean,
that seems messed
then
up.
Mario.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't really count, though.
Kind of counts.
I guess that could be someone's car game, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a car game for everyone.
And now, from the 3-Bit Gamer Show, a game review.
Well, hold on 1 second. It's not necessarily just a game review. It's actually an interview.
Okay. And now, from the 3-Bit Gamer Show, an interview.
Well, no. It's kind of both of those things smashed together. I quit. Just call it whatever you want then.
That brings us to one of our favorite little things is an inter-review. And because Jenna and I have been playing this awesome indie game called Children of Morta.
It's the best.
It's dope. We've been playing it co-op. We figured we would have Peterson.
You've talked about it a little bit.
Peterson, do you know anything about this game? Do I need to give a primer?
First question. What is this game? What's the premise? And what does it play like?
Okay, so Children of Morta is a roguelike, story-driven roguelike co-op game. It's set in it's a fantasy setting where you are part of a family that is tasked with defending this mountain.
Mount Morta.
Mount Morta. And you have to go down into Mount Morta to clear the enemies out and solve the story and figure out what the rot is going on.
For some reason, the way you said
that right,
made it
Jenna?
sound like
Yeah.
you just made up your own swear word.
Yeah, so
What the rot is happening? What the rot's going on?
Morta,
Right? That's pretty
rot?
good. What the rot?
dude, that is a good swear. I'm gonna start saying that.
Anyway.
Dude, what the rot?
It's also gorgeous
that is
pixel art.
Yeah, so it's a top-down roguelike dungeon crawler in the same vein as like Wizard of Legend or Hades or what was the other one I was playing, Peterson? Damn it, what was the last one? Oh, Curse of the Dead Gods. All of these kind of hack and slash, or even Undermine. Hell, Undermine 2 fits this category. Kind of a hack and slash top-down. The thing that sets this apart is it is a co-op game, and it's kind of a bullet hell. Would you say that, Jenna? Like, there are so many enemies. You are swarmed so much in this game.
I mean, I think you're definitely rewarded to strategize and use each character's ability to deal with the swarm. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have different characters, and it's kind of cool because we have different combos we like to run in different runs, like with different characters. Because Jenna generally plays the casting mage characters, and I always play like the bruiser and the tank. So, but there's a bunch of different bruisers and a bunch of different like everything.
Yes.
Is
So
is that a good enough primer?
So I
kind of give you
this. So this game doesn't have to be co-op, right? Have you played it single player and co-op?
No,
You've
you can
done
play
both?
it single player, but I think it goes up to 4. I don't think we've played it co-op. Oh yeah, we played it co-op here and there.
single?
Like if someone gets up and goes, and the other person will drop off. Yeah, we've played it or single player, but it's
I've done it
it's
once
not
when
the best.
Jonathan went to go do something, and I was
Is-
like, I want to practice because I was sucking in on the level really bad.
Oh, and I
Oh, it
forgot to
is?
mention this is published by the guys that did Frostpunk. Small World.
Okay, so that
That's how
being
I think I
said,
found it.
what are the best aspects of playing it co-op? Or do the characters you talked about, like there's character things you like to run, but do their skill sets mesh well together? Are there any benefits to playing co-op? Do they do anything different because you're playing co-op? Or is it truly just you have two characters running through the mission?
The game is built to be co-op because you can get downed, and then your co-op partner can pick you back up. And without that ability, like the game would be punishingly difficult and not very fun. You can get mobbed and screwed over really fast, and the fact that Jenna and I could res each other really quickly made it a much more. It was just engaging. It was just a more fun experience. Jenna, were there other co-op? What were other co-op things?
I just feel like it was just fun to explore these maps with you, to be honest. And there's always like new special abilities because everything was so random. So we were always just picking up cool things, and I don't know. It was just super fun, and I feel like it was just really easy to play, right? Like I felt like there's been games where we've played that were similar style to this, and it was just not fun because you were never free from the swarm.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's really tight is it's a twin stick shooter technically, even though it's like half the characters are melee. So you have one stick, your left stick you move around with, and then the right stick you point it in the direction you want to swing or shoot, and it just does it automatically. So if I just am holding my right stick down, my character with the like sledgehammer is just swinging the sledgehammer constantly in front of him as fast as he can toward the bottom of the screen. So you don't have to mash buttons either. That's a delightful part. It's a button masher where you don't have to mash buttons. Your characters are constantly swinging because they're constantly being
You alluded
mobbed.
to the story of it. Elaborate on that a little bit. What do you guys like the most about the story? Is there anything particularly engaging about it, etc.?
Jenna, you go.
Well, it's this family, and very important part is your grandma, who teaches you about their ancient history, and she will reveal like different abilities that you can purchase. And that's another fun thing is you can collect coin, and then you can like figure out what stuff you want to buy together. And then there's these like stories, and I can't remember. I felt like I read an article where the developers were very thoughtful about when that would happen, but you get these cutscenes after a level about the family. And I don't know. I just think it's really well done. It's not like forced on you at all. It feels natural.
Dude, I'm so glad you brought that up, Jenna, because I'd totally forgotten that. Oh my god, this is brilliant. Okay, so Peterson, you know when you're playing like Undermine or Hades, well, Hades does a decent job of this as well, of like when it reveals the story. But say we go into the same, so we had a couple, so there's like 5 different or 6 different dungeons total, and then each dungeon has like 3 levels in them, and if you can get through all 3 levels, then you clear that dungeon. But God, is it hard. Like getting through the first 2 is hard. Getting to the third one is like a 20% success rate. And then at that point, you have to go fight a boss at the end of the third one. That's generally really, really hard. And you can be hurting pretty bad by the time you get to it. But there were a couple instances where we did the same dungeon like 5 times in a row. We're like, oh, we're just hitting our heads against the wall. But then we'd get a story break. And it was like, oh, this is kind of nice. Because it was just like Jenna said, very thoughtful when they would reveal the story to you. And it didn't just kind of come at random times.
That sounds awesome. What happens when you die? When you lose? Do you start over and lose your progress? Is it roguelike type of stuff? It's like if you both die and you lose the level, what happens?
You just lose your artifacts, right, Jenna? Like your items. It's just like any roguelike. But you don't really. You have a skill tree too that is persistent. So really, you don't lose that much, right?
No, I mean you just kind of have to restart. Like you lose.
Yeah, it's just like you can get.
Yeah.
You can get bonuses that like increase your attack speed and your health and stuff, but that's what you lose. But you're also constantly earning currency that allows you to upgrade your characters abilities and everything else. Like you start a character at level 1 and you're missing literally all of your abilities and all you have is your basic attack.
That's another cool thing is like the characters have also been unlocked slowly over time with the story as well. So like you feel like you're kind of gaining these family members to kind of help you and assist you. And then you're really encouraged to play with other characters because you'll have a character that runs into corruption fatigue and that can't be played. And we'll get a new character and able to level them up super quickly because you can just gain abilities and level up so quickly. So it's super rewarding that way too.
Have you guys beaten it yet?
Yeah, forgot all that. Nope. It has gotten to a punishing point, but I think, I needed a break for a minute. But yeah,
he was always me. Can we play Morta?
Yeah, Jenna's addicted to it. I think we're through like 3 of the 5 dungeons, right?
Yeah.
We're on the downhill slope for sure. We're closer because we've unlocked all the characters and we've gotten most of them leveled to the point.
It's like a
Maybe.
Yoda style.
Who knows?
She just jumps in and you think she's all
she would be the
slow,
strongest character, I feel.
Just super OP.
Oh, just for one epic fight.
Okay, and then I always like to ask this. What is your least favorite thing about the game? What's your nit?
Difficulty. That's my main nit, is that the difficulty spikes are sudden and jarring. And it's just not very... I think if they had tweaked it, so if you say the difficulty is at 100 right now, if they tweak it down to 65 or 70, I think this game would have been a lot more popular. I think it's just a really steep mountain to climb, and there have been multiple times where I've been like, I need a break, because it's just like you go into the same dungeon, you run it, and just get punished over and over again. It's just like, ugh. And then if you're having bad runs in a game like this and your co-op partner has to keep picking you up because you're such a fuck up. Oh my God. That's how I keep feeling. I'm like, Jenna, I'm down again. I just picked you up.
Stop
I
dying.
know. Just come pick me up. I'm sorry. It just kills me. Jenna, what is your nit? I don't even know what it is. I'm so interested.
I obviously like this game a lot better than Jonathan because I didn't have a problem with any of that. It'd probably be to update the UI because we didn't know what certain things were for a while. We're like, all right, this is like a teardrop shape thing that I'm collecting right now, but I have no idea what that's for. And it took us like, I think beating a whole level before realizing what things we were collecting and stuff.
That's a good one.
It wasn't
I think
like obvious at all.
Can fall into that trap fairly easily, where they're not spending so much time on the interface and explaining what's what and seeing what things are, and
they know what it is.
And then has Jenna, have you yelled at JD at all for making you lose or sucking? You need to.
No.
I think the thing is both of us have runs where we just completely tank out and it's just like we're absolutely useless. So it's
Don't
like this
bring it up.
unspoken
Don't bring it
agreement
up.
that like you can just be a complete fuck up for this run. Don't bring it up because I'm going to do it in the next run. Because sometimes Jenna has the most insane gangbuster runs and she gets the bot like, the worst ones. Here are the worst ones is when we fight the boss and it has 100 health and I die. And Jenna gets me back up, hits the boss down to 80, and then I die again. And then Jenna gets the boss down to 60, gets me back up, and then we both get the boss down to 40, then I die again. And I'm like, oh my God. There's nothing I can do, and I'm just watching her carry the whole team, and I'm like, don't even get me up anymore. Just leave me down here where I deserve to be. I belong here on the ground.
You guys are going to get in an argument about something, and then Jenna's going to be like, all right, you know what? Remember that one time we were playing Morta, and we had it, and you sucked so bad. I never said a thing, and it's going to come back.
Well, I'm bringing it up now.
I only want a partner.
Well, if only you were better at Morta.
Oh, my God. Harsh.
things to be different.
Ollie, I should have known. I should have known. When you
Wait,
get
if
dying on
Jenna
that
doesn't
boss.
mind the challenging aspect of it, going back to the previous conversation, Souls-like games. Has Jenna ever played a Dark Souls game?
Oh yeah,
No.
dude, I don't know.
Very
because
hard.
she played,
And you beat
No,
it,
she
didn't
hasn't.
you?
But she played Hollow Knight, which was really freaking hard. Like almost 100% of it, didn't
JD,
she?
I really
I
think that's her
about
next
most of it,
foray
not
into
all.
gaming. Because look, it's the natural progression. She's played very hard games.
That would be crazy.
She's now played like an RPG third person, I believe, right? And so, look, just mash the two together. Give her a Dark Souls game or any of those Souls-like games. Jenna, you might just like it. The thing
Dude,
about
that
those
actually
is
may
they
work.
are intentionally hard. I know, but that's the thing.
I don't
You
like
don't
Morta because
mind
it's
it.
hard. I don't mind it though.
People who
I don't
like
feel
Souls
But it
games
doesn't
say
turn
they're
you
like
off,
their favorite
which
games
is
ever.
important.
But for me, it's too hard. Like the difficulty's a turnoff, and that's like a big piece of it. So if you don't mind that, you might actually love the game.
But Wizards
Yeah, 'cause
of
there's some
Legend
really
was
awesome
too
That's
hard.
that's a
I
different
didn't-
type of
Wizards
hard.
of
That's
Legend
like
is
a
too hard for everyone.
unbeatable type of hard.
Fuck that game.
This is a
Okay, I
like
think we
you are
need to,
fighting
like, define
guys,
different hards.
like 1-on-1, and they're not telegraphing their moves necessarily, so you need to remember their like how they attack. Yeah,
It's like the boss fights in Hollow Knight, where you were just memorizing all of their different moves and how you reacted to them, and you got really good at those, and you'd grind the boss over and over again, and it just keep getting harder and harder. But then when you finally beat it, it was like, hell yeah. And you could probably go back and beat
Kinda
it
like
in half a second by the time you finish it.
Anyway, so yeah,
It's
I
like
just
that.
thought of that. I was like, wait, that might fit. So anyway, that's Children of Morta. Okay.
Cool. Let's do this cover your kingdom thing real quick, and then we'll do dice. So Peterson and Jenna and I and all the people around us, all the loved ones in our life, have all been playing this awesome game called Cover Your Kingdom. That was by the same guys
Cover
that
Your Assets.
did Cover
It's
Your
a
Assets. Peterson,
card
didn't you
game
talk that
that's
on the podcast?
very easy to learn and play. You can play with a bunch of people, so it's kind of an easy entry into gaming, right? You can pick it up and play a short round of it with a decent amount of people.
So
it's like
this
Cover
is
Your
the
Assets Plus,
update of the
right? There's
of,
like new
of,
elements
of Cover Your
and
Assets,
it's a
I
little
guess.
bit bigger and a little bit wilder.
Yeah, and it is. Oh my god, I just figured we could just gush about it for a minute because I think
so
all three of
Cover
us
Your
are just in love with this
Kingdom
game.
Is a card game, much like Cover Your Assets. Cover Your Assets is a game where you're trying to steal each other's cards. So you have a hand of, I think, 6 cards in Cover Your Kingdom, and you are trying to make a pair, essentially. Make a pair, and then you put it down in front of you. Well, it gets to a point where if someone else has that same card, they can try to steal it from you. Then if you've got another one of those, you can play that to keep this pile, and each card in the pile is worth points that add up at the end of the game. Well, Cover Your Kingdom adds, the gameplay is the same, essentially, for all intents and purposes, but it adds a couple elements. You've got a small board in front of you with 2 piles that you play on, a mountain and a valley or something like that. You have 2 different piles. So you have these creatures that you're adding to your kingdom, and it's these matches, and you put them on in either wherever they go, in the mountain or the valley, and then people can steal from those. But they also added like wild cards or event cards type of thing that have like an ability where you can steal stuff from other people. You can move the top pile around because you can only steal the top pile. And so Cover Your Kingdom is just a play on that it makes it so much more chaotic and harder to know who's winning. Does that track? Well,
I don't know if it's harder to know who's winning sometimes because, as you mentioned in your house and some of the games we played, sometimes one stack becomes very hotly contested and everyone's fighting over it to their detriment. Like, it's not helping you anymore.
Pride.
And it's just pride. Like, give me my fucking stack of unique horns back, because that's the other thing that's so funny about this game is all the cards have like funny pun names. They're all puns. Instead of a unicorn, it's a unique horn. Yeah, and then what is the one that's the centaur?
Like the dog, the three-headed dog, like Cerberus, but it's Cerber Russell Terrier. Cerber Russell Terrier. So it's like these three goofy terriers with three heads. They do that with everything. They've got, there's Cyclops, and this is a Sigh Clops. So he's like emo Cyclops.
Yeah. And the braggin, so they're just dragons that are all braggy, and every card is different, and they all have these funny little like dialogue things from the cards. I don't know, it's just so fun and competitive. And we played with my folks, and it was just the best, just getting so mad over one dumb stack it's a
really great game. It's made by the same guy,
most important stack in the game,
who, if you don't know, I love their story. I don't know if you read that about them. Grandpa Beck Games. It is a grandma and grandpa that make games with their kids, with their grandkids. So picture this old couple sitting in retirement making puns with their kids.
Making dorky dad jokes.
I don't know, half dozen games or something. And that's what they do. I don't know why that's so like endearing to me. Maybe that's like the perfect retirement. Hey, just sit back, make card games, make board games with the grandkids. You try them out with the kids, and then I don't know, something about that. I love it so much. But this game is so fun. Like JD mentioned, there's puns everywhere. All of the kingdoms are different puns. There's Smogdor. It's a play off Trogdor, and Stablehaven, which is a play off Fablehaven. Yarnia, which is Narnia, right? And they're all just like these goofy, punny. Every card in this game is a pun, whereas Cover Your Assets is not that at all. This game absolutely is. They're just having fun, and I'm along for the ride. I think it's a fun game.
Yeah, Jenna, do you have anything to add on it? I know you dominated the last time we played. It was
so funny.
Frustrating. It was very frustrating. I was having all these fights with my parents back and forth, and Jenna would just kept coming in and scooping up these gigantic stacks. And like, yeah, I'll take that one.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. War profiteering.
I didn't know you had it in you.
No, it was just like super fun to watch people, like, you could tell were strategizing and then watching their strategy fail before they got to their turn.
That's what those event cards do too. You can have a strategy and someone has an event card in their deck that will screw the whole thing over, which does kind of make it more fun than Cover Your Assets, because you never know when something's going to pop out and they're going to ruin all of your hard work, which, if you know me, that's how I like to play games.
Take some of your cards.
I love games where you screw each other over. It's just more fun that way.
Oh, yeah, baby. Okay, so that brings us to our last segment. Let's give that a roll.
Dice of Destiny.
Right, Dice of Destiny is this fun little game we like to play at the end of every episode. We roll a 6-sided dice to see who will be rolling the Dice of Destiny. Then we roll a 20-sided dice with 20 different game genres assigned to it. And then we finally roll another 6-sided dice to see the price. And then that person picks a game in that genre and reviews it. Did I do that right? The new Dice of Destiny script is hard. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
It's like move two things around.
I know.
JD is thrown.
Brain melted. Sorry, folks. Stick with me here. Yeah.
So yeah, I rolled a survival game for, it was like under $50 or something like that. It was a high number. So I picked The Forest off of Danny's recommendation. It's a game I'd looked at for a while. So I picked up The Forest, and this is a true survival game. You are actually a survivor. You're the only survivor of a plane crash.
Okay.
You start the game, you wake up from the plane crash, and some like creepy looking they're humanoid creatures, so they're humanish. Think Gollum, like if Gollum's humanish, they're like the same level of humanoid. They're taking, I think, your child. So you start off in the plane and there's a kid sitting next to you that's obviously your kid. Okay. And then the plane crashes and you're like in the aisle laying down, and you wake up and this monster creature grabs your kid and runs off and you're like crawling towards him. That's how the game starts. I did not know this game would be as terrifying as it is. I knew it would be scary, but I didn't think it would scare me this much. Maybe I'm just a big sissy. Danny will probably laugh at me. But so you start off and you have an axe and you've got a survival book, like a guide that's like was showing you how to craft. You need to build a fire. You need to build a shelter. You need to go catch some food. All of the luggage is scattered around so you can go like break those open. So I'm doing all this stuff, right? I'm walking around in the game. I'm collecting my items. I'm gathering sticks and rocks to make my fire. I've made a spear, and I found a little pond, and I'm spear fishing, getting some fish and cooking them, right? Things are going great. And then I hear a funky little noise, and it's full of noises. No. This game's full of noises because you're in a forest.
Are you playing with the headphones on?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're in a forest. And you're, of course, all by yourself, but you're starting to, there's some creepy creatures around. And then all of a sudden, you see them. And they keep coming in packs of 3. And these 3 lanky Gollum, like Gollum, but as tall as you, right? These creatures, and they're cannibals. They want to eat you. They will attack you. But they don't just, like, attack you. They like slowly kind of creep up, like they see you, and they'll kind of wander around, and they'll slowly creep up, and then one of them, and they'll kind of spread out, and then one of them will just charge at you. It'll come running on all fours, like they run on all fours, and then it'll jump at you, and you have to block, and then like hit it. They take a ton of hits to kill, and then meanwhile another one has come screeching from behind. It's very scary. But like once you get used to that, fine, you get used to that. So then, I've kind of built up my place. Again, true survival game. I've built up my place. I've got the fire going. Things are going pretty well. And then I find a cave, and I'm kind of getting cocky at this point, right? I've killed a bunch of these cannibals. I found a camp, and yeah, there's like skulls everywhere, and they're like they've got meat drying racks, and there's like human arms on them and stuff.
What
like, oh,
is
no.
this game you found?
So then I go into this cave. It's very dark, and I've made a torch. The torch is not illuminating very much space in front of me. Not even a fifth of what I'd like it to. It's illuminating what's directly in front of me. And then I start hearing these creepy laughing noises, and I'm like, oh, no, there's something in here. Fine, that's fine. So I've got my torch and my axe in the other hand, and All of a sudden I see this pale creature run by, and then they start attacking me and swarming me. And did you ever see I Am Legend?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yeah.
It looks exactly like those guys, those zombie creatures in I Am Legend. These ones look a little different. They kill me, and I pass out. And the last thing I'm seeing as I'm like passing out is their creepy faces over me yelling in my face. And I logged out.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do that again.
Yeah, good luck going to bed after that shit.
Then I logged back in, and I'm like, okay, I'm building. And I told you I was going to do this. I'm like, I'm building a log cabin. I didn't realize me cutting down trees, which makes sense. This game has a lot of smart elements to it. So me cutting down trees is making a lot of noise and drawing those guys to me.
Oh.
So you need to do craft and do all this stuff, but the more you do it, the more they're interested. They want to come find you. And I found there was like these female ones, and they were even crazier, like came screaming at me. Oh gosh, they climb trees.
Mm-hmm.
And if you walk under that tree, they'll jump on you.
Dude, what the hell?
It was,
oh my gosh.
It was more scary than I wanted it to be. Lots of jump scares. I was just on edge the whole time playing it. It is very well done as a survival game. My nits are actually in the it is scary. The nits are in the control scheme. I didn't feel like it didn't flow very well. Like I didn't figure out how to switch between my spear and my axe easily. I'd have to go into my crafting menu.
That's a killer
grab
for
it.
me. And when you're
that.
running away in a survival game, I feel like that was something
I need to be able to switch quickly between my items.
Yeah, totally.
And I couldn't. Like, you know how like we were just talking about that when we played Grounded this last time, and I was like, oh, I have to go to the wheel. There's not even that. I have to click I. He opens up a book. Then he goes to his crafting pad in front of him with like all of your items, and then you have to
does
pick
this
one.
not pause the game?
I don't know. I don't know if it pauses. I don't know. I honestly didn't know because I didn't dare doing it while they were around. The creatures were around. Oh, I always walk around with a spear or an axe out. No question.
Right.
And if I cut down a tree and had to carry logs, it was like I'm running as fast as I can with the logs so I could get my axe back out. So yeah, my nits were like in the control schemes. They were a little funky. The crafting, it took me a second to figure that out. Once I did, it wasn't bad, but it was just the control of it all was not ideal. That's my biggest nit. However, the game, like I said, has just a lot of little things in it that are very well done. You get bloody, right, from fighting these guys. You jump into the water and wash it off.
That's
right.
Cool.
You get bloody, and your guy's like looking at your hands like he doesn't like it. Right.
Oh my
Look at
God.
his hands. You can go around and eat stuff, and then if you eat the wrong thing, you're throwing up and you're sick and all that stuff. So there's a lot of like the elements of it are very well done. The controls are not. This game is not expensive, right? The Forest has been out. Let's see. Let me look real quick. It's $20 on Steam. It's been out since April of 2018, so it's not a brand new game. So I would say if you don't mind getting scared, because it was too scary for me, and I don't know. I think I'm just kind of over that. But if you don't mind getting scared, this is a great game. I know people who are obsessed with it. And so, yeah, this is a game that I think you should play if you like that survival, if you like that terrifying, if you like that, like, your blood's pumping aspect of it. If not, stay away from this game. But the $20 price tag is spot on, right? It's the perfect price for it. So yeah, I'll say buy this at its current price or cheaper because it's $20 and that's what it should be. So the Forest, I don't recommend it. I didn't love it, but I know a lot of people would tell you differently. So it's a good game, but it's not a game for me.
Okay, so if you love that kind of shit and you like getting your pants scared off of you, I don't. Turns out. Oh my god, no! This picture you sent me, I don't like that at all.
That's the guy that killed me.
Look, man, I tapped out of Subnautica after seeing a single
That's
Leviathan,
true.
and apparently there's like 12 of them. And I think you have to kill them, or I don't know what the point is, just avoid them. But all I did is just kept wetting myself, and then I stopped playing it. So, yeah, I can see how that's not for everyone. Okay, so that means we've got another dice roll coming up. And so let's do this. Let's do I will be 1-2. Peterson, you be 3-4. Jenna, you be 5 and 6 as a reroll. Does that work? Jenna, I'm conscripting you in a Dice of Destiny. So,
Oh shoot!
okay, here we go, and it is a 4. Is that me? No, that's Peterson.
That's me.
Okay.
You were 1-2.
Okay, and then the 20-sided dice.
Here we go.
I'm kind of sad that I haven't gotten it for so long. Is a 13. A 13 is a building game.
Oh,
Hey now. That's
I am not going to play the forest.
Nope. That doesn't sound good. So building is off and racing is on deck now.
Dude, Jenna, it's there for you.
Now Jenna can play a racing game. That's tight. Okay, and then finally for the price, $20. So Peterson has
gosh.
a, let's see, 20. Peterson, $20.
This is going to be hard to
building
find a
game.
good building game
You'll have to find an old one.
for $20.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go into the archives, friend.
There
I
were some that I
apologize.
was like, "Oh, sweet, I know what I want," and no, they're not $20. So, I guess, I guess I'm gonna really have to dive in.
Okay. Well, God, I hope I get dice soon because I've been looking for. Maybe I'll just start playing it by myself. I'll just go to our
the
website.
Next roll,
Sad
JD
play.
is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We'll roll a nice 6. Damn it!
Yeah.
Guys, if you do want to play Dice of Destiny or check all our reviews of our past Dice of Destiny games, you can go to 3bitgamershow.com/dice. And Jenna, the lady of the hour, actually built the dice roller game that you can play.
So good.
You click the dice, it gives you a genre and a price, and you can head over to Steam or EGS or what have you and buy it there.
Don't think. Just
Exactly.
click. Boom, done.
It thinks for you. That's like any good website.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So that does it for us this week. To play us out, we have some music from StarCraft 2 because I'm playing StarCraft 2. I'm learning all about Raynor. I'm a little concerned about the body proportions of everyone. Like their shoulders go out and their arms kind of drop down like they're on balls. Like their shoulders are just gigantic circles, I guess.
Dude, that's because they're jacked.
I mean, there's like jacked, and then there's like their bone structure is a little alarming. Like how do their shoulders work?
Dude.
Are
You
their
just don't
shoulders
lift,
in like
bro.
are the ball joint of the shoulder is the size of like a cantaloupe?
Bro, just lift. You don't lift.
Not as much
Okay,
as
no.
Tyke is.
Come join my gym, okay?
Yeah, and
I've got a
Tychus is always
CrossFit
like-
guide. No, you got
He's
this.
grabbing his big metal cod piece. I'm like, does that actually help? Like your fingers aren't even like in the finger part of the robot. How is anyway? All right, guys. On that note, I'm JD signing off.
This is Peterson going AFK.
See you later, idiots.
Peterson Productions. Oh yeah.